I watched a video. I got like into animal YouTube again, which sometimes takes me down through interesting paths. And it was like about a global wars between different types of ants and colonies and how they succeed. And like it showed where they had strongholds. And apparently that tiny little annoying type of ant that was originally from, it's called the Argentine ant. And it got moved around all over the world through shipping lanes and whatnot. And even though it's like smaller than like fire ants and a lot of things like that, they're like the Zerg in StarCraft, or they're like goblins in Lord of the Rings. Like, oh, okay, yeah, we suck relatively in battle against these leafcutter ants, but every time they bring one guy, we bring 3,000 guys. And they're the ants where like you can see the big ants getting their limbs pulled off by all of them in different directions. And it was explaining how like originally the way it worked was there were huge battles in Argentina between these different ants because they have multiple queens. And so they would go out, whereas a lot of ants only have one queen per hive. And so they would spread out a little bit, but then over time, their genetic diversity would change so much that they wouldn't even recognize the other colonies as the same species. And so they'd have like civil wars basically. But it only took a few queens initially to like France or whatnot. And so there wasn't enough genetic diversity there for them to ever identify that they were enemies. And so it was just like a constant, enormous, expanding swarm of these ants who were just destroying all the bug life.
Did you say what they're called?
Their path. The Argentine ants, right?
Crazy ants. They're called crazy ants, and they have evolved this this ability. They secrete this acid, formic acid or something. And I know fire ants.
Crazy. They're called Argentine ants. The crazy ants.
Crazy ants are from Argentina. Google where the crazy ants from.
Okay, fine.
And so they release this acid that neutralizes fire ant venom, and they rub it all over themselves and create a chemical armor that protects them from the fire ants, making them basically immune to anything the fire ant can do to them. And then they just fuck the fire ants up. It's great.
Now, Ed, you're in Georgia also, right?
Yep.
So we are actually all in a territory where the Argentine ant has been largely pushed back, or like not totally dominating, because the fire ants are winning the battle seemingly in our region from Missouri to Georgia to North Carolina.
I'm anti-fire ant.
I'm also anti-fire ant. I'm full team crazy ant because they don't bite you. So yeah, that was
we have these hammerhead worms that are a new invasive thing. I've seen a few of them around the house, which is wild, but they're like this super gooey, long worm.
Oh my!
I don't know what they're called, but they're like, everything I read is like you cannot kill them. Like you can cut them into a million pieces, and that's how many there will be. But there is some kind of new invasive worm that is coming around Georgia.
Yikes!
Interesting. Let's see.
That's it.
Oh no! It's that thing from fucking Alien. Oh no!
I hate this.
They're here.
I want to see its mouth. I bet it's got some sort of lamprey fucking
Zach, pull up
disgusting mouth parts.
Bipalium.
You know what else is? When I was a kid in Georgia, there were no armadillos.
Yes, there were none. When I was a kid, there were none.
That's right. And now they're all over the place. All only dead. I've never seen a live one in Georgia, but they are dead on every highway.
Yeah, my experience with it, I remember the first time I saw an armadillo, I was 18, and there was a motorcycle rally like an hour south of Athens. And we drove down there because we thought we were going to see some titties. And we ended up seeing a lot of penis, and we came back home. But on the way back home, I saw an armadillo running across the road for the first time. And I thought I'd seen a guy. I was like, is that an armadillo? And we slam on the brakes, jump out of the truck, and start chasing this bitch through the, through the woods, trying to catch it by hand. It got away. But they've been definitely migrating north, because I've seen them in Athens.
Dude, I've seen them here.
It's crazy.
Not that we're a northern state here, but like we're further north than you guys. Like
we're not Texas.
Yeah, they shouldn't be in Missouri. That's fucking ridiculous. And they're only ever dead. I've never seen a living armadillo. All they do is invade and then get fucked up by like civics.
We were in Texas, and we saw an armadillo, and it rolled up in a ball. And dude that was with me went, got them armored shells. take a hell of a punch, knock through one of them. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? It's armored as far as animal skin goes. Like, no, that's armor.
As far as
That's armor right there. And he's like, a bullet wouldn't. And I've got a fucking 308 AR-10. I'm armed. And I'm like, dude.
So would you like to make an enormous bet on this?
I want to do what I do with y'all, like plus or minus 80 fire ant deaths in the U.S. per year. Start thinking about that one. And so I vaporized this fucking armadillo with my rifle, and I was like, man, that armor didn't work. He was genuinely thought he was like, bullet will bounce off. I heard one time guy shot one with pistol, bullet bounced off, killed another fella. He's telling me this bullshit. We're out in Texas, and I'm standing there like,
the armadillo was just sitting there minding his business atop of this thick steel plate.
armadillo.
And then I shot him and it ricocheted off. You sure it wasn't a steel plate?
Plus or minus 80 deaths per year in the U.S.
Last time I tussled with you in these weird, obscure bets, I owed you a steam engine, and you still haven't put it together. And
Dude,
so I'm going to say
steam engine. I bet it's over. I bet it's 250.
There's just no way.
They're going high.
I mean,
the way you would
anaphylaxis is a powerful means.
See, but also like I see what you're saying, but I don't know how many would need to bite you to do that. Like you'd have to really fuck up and 80 deaths
to be a human death.
It's if you step on a mountain and you don't know it, you'll be stung 15 times easily before you can stop it.
I'm going to say 112.
I am going to say 76 total. And Ed said like 250. So he
83.
busted.
83.
Oh, man, he picked a strategic number.
I actually, I was closest. So
yeah, that's what they call.
So if you can go ahead and
that is a
ship
lame,
that engine on back.
Dude, that is a lame death. No, I'm sorry anyone out there who lost a loved one to fire ant attack, but man, that's a lame way to go. That's embarrassing.
Were you ever
You
around
don't
someone?
want to say granddad died of fire ants.
A friend of mine like stepped in a fire ant nest or hive or whatever you would call it, colony, and he got bit a lot and he was crying a lot, but we were also 6, and so I thought he was like kind of being a whiner about it, but I respected the fire ants distance. Then I'm like, all right, I'm not going near these guys. So I imagine they would be like in a level of pain that was similar to a bee sting, but I imagine it's way less than that.
No, it's not that bad. I mean, you're annoyed, but it's not a bee sting. Bee stings hurt.
Like I haven't been somebody a bee in forever.
But isn't it variable? Doesn't your sensitivity to the venom impact the pain that you experience? Like poison ivy, poison oak sort of stuff?
I think their venom
does make sense.
I think their venom is like acetic acid or something like that. It's something burny.
Sick.
Right?
Alpha Woody putting his together. That's what I sent Kyle, and it's just sitting under his fucking sink.
I took it out from under the sink. It's sitting on my my Chester drawers.
Yeah.
Is that a bong?
Cool. Of drawers.
If it was a bong, I wouldn't know how to use it. No, I think it's called a Sterling engine, and my wife put it. The moment it came, I was like, honey, this is for you. And she's like, I saw it in the Amazon cart.
He outsourced his assembly and you're giving him props.
I mean, they're a team. And so he gets to steal a little valor. That's fine.
Cool.
Sterling.
That's something. Yeah, look at that.
It is cool.
It's really pumping.
Yeah.
Not creating a lot of energy. Creating a lot of power, rather.
It's not going to power the house. No, don't.
Yeah.
Sit off.
It's not going to charge the electric
I don't think
car.
Touch it.
I touched the candle. It was over.
It's the Bernie part.
Are armadillos causing problems, though? Or are they just dying in mass?
I've never heard of anybody, oh, man, I can't believe that armadillo created bad outcome in my life.
Like these ants are causing problems, those carp are causing problems, but armadillos, like, even though I think of it as like an Arizona kind of animal, it's
Texas, Florida. 1 in 6 carry leprosy.
Yeah, but they're like immune to it. So like just don't get bit by one and you're good.
What do you mean?
Are there cases of human contracted leprosy from armadillo interaction?
Yes.
I don't know the answer to that, but I was warned so profusely after I grabbed one in Texas that I assumed that there must be indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to fuck with them.
I chased him down and he went in. This is the second time I chased an armadillo and he tried to go into his burrow and I grabbed him by his back legs and I had his legs, but I felt like if I pulled hard enough to get him out, it would hurt him. So I let him go.
I don't care what you say, Kyle. That's a cool engine. You're welcome.
I think it's a cool.